Hey guys, I'm making a video for you today because I'm not on campus. So if you would take out a sheet of paper, you can write the stuff down. You can pause as needed, but this is the lesson we're covering today. We're going to solve quadratics by factoring the quadratic formula, and we're going to touch a little bit on the discriminant. So first thing you need to know is that this is the general form of a quadratic equation. It's set equal to y because at some point we will be graphing it, and we tend to keep the ax squared, which is the quadratic term, the bx, which is the linear term, and c, which is the constant term, on the same side. That's kind of all you need to know about that, at least for now. All right, so in order to solve by factoring, there's 3 steps. You need to set your equation equal to 0. Second, you're going to factor it. And then lastly, you set each individual factor equal to 0. Again, if I'm going fast, feel free to pause this and write it down. Okay, so if I'm asking you to solve this one by factoring, from the last slide, it said we had to set it equal to 0. So it would look like this, right? And we're factoring this trinomial, so I'm looking for numbers that multiply to be negative 30, but add up to be negative 7. The numbers that do that are negative 10 and 3. Then I divide by that leading coefficient. And if those fractions reduce, I reduce them. And then I add in my letters and I read them from bottom to top. So in factored form, this equation now looks like this: 3x minus 5 times 2x plus 1 equals 0. All right, so I've set it equal to 0. I have factored it. Next, I set each of these individually equal to 0. So when I set that equal to 0 and divide by 3, I get one of my answers. And then when I take the 2x plus 1 and set it equal to 0, divide by 2, I get my other answer. Okay, those are the 2 answers to this quadratic equation. Okay, let's see what else we got. Oh, you also have to know the quadratic formula. Again, hopefully you already have this memorized, but if not, write it down. You can always pause and come back to this, but there it is for you. So we're going to solve this one using the quadratic formula. I might need a little more room, so I'm going to put it onto the green paper. 3x squared plus 5x equals negative 6. Okay, really important whenever you're solving a quadratic that it equals 0. So I'm moving the 6 to the other side, and then I'm going to just fill in the formula. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. Zoom it out just a little bit for you. And I need to simplify this. So we have negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 minus, 4 times 3 times 6. 4 times 3 times 6 is 72, all over 6. So now I have negative 5 plus or minus 25 minus 72, which is negative 47, all over 6. And you know, if there's a negative under a square root, we have to pull out the I. So I have negative 5 plus or minus I rad 47 all over 6. Those are the 2 answers to this quadratic equation. Okay, and then the next concept we need to talk about is something called the discriminant. The discriminant is just a piece, an itty-bitty little part of the quadratic formula. You can see it right here. It's the part that's under the radical. And with just that little piece, you can tell what kind of roots you're going to get. Right? On that last example that I just did, we got imaginary roots. And the reason that we got imaginary roots is because there was a negative under the radical. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example of what that would look like. If we're graphing parabolas, if there's going to be 2 roots, it's going to cross the x-axis twice. If there's going to be 1 root, it's just going to touch the x-axis. And if there's no real roots, right, if they're imaginary, it doesn't even touch the x-axis. So here is an example This is how it's going to be worded in the textbook. You're going to find the discriminant. The discriminant is a number. And based on the number, you will describe what kind of roots it has. All right, so here we go. The discriminant for this and for all of them is b squared minus 4ac. Let me start plugging some numbers in. This is a, this is b, this is c. So I'm going to have 36 minus 4 times a times c. This is 36 minus 400. All right, 36 minus 400 is negative 364. Okay, this is not the answer to the quadratic. This is the value of the discriminant. Value of discriminant. What does this tell me? It tells me that I have two imaginary solutions. Okay, because it's negative. That's it, because it's negative. If it was positive, I'd have two real solutions. If it was 0, I would have one real solution. All right, so again, feel free to watch the video as many times as you want. I will see you tomorrow. Be good for the sub, and email me if you have any questions. At my training, I have access to my email, so you can email me like right now, and I will see it and get back to you just as soon as I can. Okay, bye.